All right, Potterheads, or maybe just curious onlookers, HBO's Harry Potter reboot is already shaking things up with some wild casting rumors, and people have opinions. We're talking bold choices, unexpected returns, and, yeah, a little controversy. From John Lithgow as Dumbledore to Paapa Essiedu as Snape, some fans are thrilled, others, not so much. So let's break it all down, see what works, what's shocking, and what might just be genius. John Lithgow as Dumbledore. So this is official. John Lithgow is our new Albus Dumbledore. And his reaction. Even he was surprised. He said, "Well, it was not an easy decision because it's going to define me for the last chapter of my life, I'm afraid. But I'm very excited. I'll be about 87 years old at the wrap party, but I've said yes." That's commitment. If this show actually runs the full 7 seasons, 1 per book, he'll be playing Dumbledore until 2033. That's nearly a decade. And here's where it gets interesting. Lithgow is the first American to play Dumbledore. The movie stuck strictly to British casting, so this is a huge shift. Now, he's played Winston Churchill in The Crown. He voiced Lord Farquaad in Shrek with a British accent, so he can definitely pull it off. But this could mean HBO is prioritizing experience over strict nationality rules. Does that mean more non-British actors could join? And how do you feel about that? Let me know in the comments. Paapa Essiedu as Snape. Next up, Snape. And the actor rumored for the role? Paapa Essiedu. You might know him from Gangs of London or The Lazarus Project, and he's one of Britain's fastest rising stars. The showrunner has already said that they want Snape to be his real age from the books, 31 years old. So Essiedu could bring a younger, more intense take on the character. But let's address the elephant in the room. There's been some heated debate online about this casting, with some fans arguing that Snape was described as pale in the books, meaning Essiedu wouldn't match that description. Others, however, point out that Snape's defining traits, his hooked nose, greasy black hair, and intense presence, matter far more than his skin color. Plus, if the performance is great, does it really matter? At the end of the day, casting is about bringing the right energy to a character. And Essiedu has proven time and time again that he can play complex, morally ambiguous roles. Snape isn't just a brooding, bitter professor. He's got one of the most tragic and layered arcs in the entire series. If HBO is prioritizing raw talent and emotional depth, Essiedu might just surprise everyone. What do you think? Should physical accuracy always come first, or should acting ability take precedence? Peter Capaldi as Garrick Ollivander. Now this casting just makes sense. Peter Capaldi as Garrick Ollivander, the Wand Maker. You probably know Capaldi as Doctor Who, but he's got that weird, intense energy that would be perfect for Ollivander. John Hurt's version was great, but we didn't get enough of Ollivander in the movies. In the books, the guy is straight up obsessed with wands. And let's not forget, he spends a huge chunk of the later story as Voldemort's prisoner. Capaldi could make Ollivander even more mysterious, maybe even a little creepy. I can't think of a better actor for this role. Do you agree? Or do you have another pick? Cillian Murphy as Voldemort. Or Quirrell. Okay, this one's crazy. Cillian Murphy, aka Oppenheimer himself, is rumored to be playing Voldemort. And guess what? Ralph Fiennes, the original Voldemort, gave his approval. When asked about it, he said, "Cillian is a fantastic actor. That's a wonderful suggestion. I would be all in favor of Cillian. Yeah, but wait. More recent reports say HBO actually wants him to play Professor Quirrell instead. Which, okay, kind of feels like a downgrade. But hear me out. What if they make Quirrell an actual fleshed-out villain? Instead of just some scared professor, what if he's someone who chose to serve Voldemort? If anyone could make that character terrifying, it's Murphy. Would you rather see him as Voldemort or Quirrell? Let's debate this in the comments. Phoebe Waller-Bridge as Aunt Petunia. This one actually makes a lot of sense. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, yes, Fleabag herself, has reportedly been offered the role of Aunt Petunia. And this could be huge. The movies made Petunia seem like a one-dimensional villain, but in the books, she's way more complicated. She grew up jealous of her sister Lily. She wanted to be part of the wizarding world, and then she spent her whole life pretending she didn't care. If HBO is serious about giving these characters more depth, Waller-Bridge could absolutely crush this role. What do you think? Brett Goldstein as Hagrid. Okay, I did not see this one coming. Brett Goldstein, aka Roy Kent from Ted Lasso, is rumored to be playing Hagrid. Now, personality-wise, sure, I can see it. Hagrid is gruff, tough, but has a huge heart. But physically, Hagrid is a half-giant. So does this mean HBO is going for a different take on Hagrid? More focus on personality rather than size? Or will they just CGI him bigger? Let me know what you think. Could this work? Tom Felton as Lucius Malfoy. This might be the craziest casting rumor yet. Tom Felton, yes, Draco Malfoy himself, is apparently open to playing Lucius Malfoy. When asked about it, he said, "As far as casting me as Lucius, yes. I just don't think they can afford me. Let's make it clear, I'm joking. But also, I'm available." And honestly, this could be perfect. Draco spent his whole life trying to live up to Lucius, so having Felton step into that role would be an insane full-circle moment. Would HBO actually do it? No idea. But just imagine that reveal. Ben Barnes as Sirius Black. Ben Barnes, aka Prince Caspian from Narnia and the Darkling from Shadow and Bone, is rumored for Sirius Black. And fans have been asking for this for years. Even he knows it. He said, "It's been going on for 20 years that people have very kindly said that they would have liked me to have played a young version of Sirius Black. But now, I'm the actual age of the character in the books. He's got the charm, the charisma, and that tragic energy Sirius needs. This might be the best casting yet." Sharon Horgan as McGonagall. Another big name being floated around is Sharon Horgan as Professor McGonagall. Horgan, creator of Bad Sisters and Catastrophe, has that sharp, commanding presence that fits McGonagall perfectly. Maggie Smith left huge shoes to fill, but Horgan might just pull it off. Another name floating around? Rachel Weisz. Bigger star, but does she fit McGonagall's vibe? What do you think? Jessica Hines as Molly Weasley. Finally, we've got Jessica Hines rumored as Molly Weasley. Molly isn't just Ron's mom, she's basically Harry's mom too. She's fierce, protective, and delivers one of the most badass lines in the series. Julie Walters was legendary in this role, so whoever steps in has to bring warmth, humor, and toughness all at once. Would you be happy with Jessica Hines? Or do you have another pick? Production updates. What's happening behind the scenes? Alright, so let's talk about what's going on behind the scenes with the Harry Potter TV series, because there have been some big updates about when it's coming out, who's involved, and how they're planning to film it. First off, if you were hoping to see this series in 2026, bad news, it's now been pushed back to 2027. Originally, HBO was aiming for a late 2026 premiere, but in November, HBO boss Casey Bloys basically said, "Yeah, that's not happening, so now the show is officially set to arrive in 2027 instead." But don't freak out. This delay isn't because of problems, it's actually because HBO wants to take their time and get it right. In fact, Bloys gave an update in December, confirming that they plan to start filming in mid-summer 2025. So while it's taking a little longer than expected, the good news is, things are moving. According to Bloys, the writers have already started, and Mark Mylod, the director behind Succession, is officially on board as a producer and will also be directing episodes. "I feel very, very happy and excited about what they've got going," Bloys said. So yeah, this thing is full steam ahead. Filming with young actors. One of the biggest concerns with this series is how to handle the aging of the actors. Since they're planning to cast actual 11-year-olds for Harry, Ron, and Hermione, HBO is being very careful about how they schedule filming. From 11 to 13 is a big jump in kids' lives, Bloys pointed out. "We are going to think about scheduling so they don't grow too much between seasons. Annual release will be tough, but it depends on how much is written at a time. Basically, they're trying to avoid a situation where the actors suddenly look way older than their characters. The goal is to release the seasons as quickly as possible, but obviously, with all the visual effects and world building, it's still going to take time. J.K. Rowling's involvement. J.K. Rowling is directly involved in this series. Rowling wasn't part of the 20th anniversary reunion special, and there were even boycotts over Hogwarts Legacy. But despite all of that, HBO is making it clear that she's heavily involved in the new show. A spokesperson for HBO told Variety, "We are proud to once again tell the story of Harry Potter, the heartwarming books that speak to power of friendship, resolve, and acceptance. J.K. Rowling has a right to express her personal views. We will remain focused on the development of the new series, which will only benefit from her involvement." And Rowling herself released a statement saying, "Max's commitment to preserving the integrity of my books is important to me, and I'm looking forward to being part of this new adaptation which will allow for a degree of depth and detail only afforded by a long-form television series." So, love it or hate it, Rowling is very much a part of this project. Who's running the show? The showrunner for the series is Francesca Gardner, who worked on his Dark Materials. If you've seen that show, you know she's great at adapting complex magical worlds for TV. And like I mentioned earlier, Mark Mylod from Succession is on board as a producer and director. That's huge because Mylod is known for handling big-budget, character-driven stories really well. Rowling is also executive producing, alongside Neil Blair and Ruth Kenley Letts. Final thoughts. So to sum it up, yes, the series has been delayed to 2027, but the team is already in place, casting is underway, and filming is set to start in mid-2025. What do you guys think? Are you excited about these updates? Or are you worried about the delay? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe for all the latest updates on the Harry Potter TV series.